It's a nominee theatre production. In the Blood is currently taking place at the Market Theatre in Johannesburg. The acclaimed play tells the story of Hester La Negrita, who is living under an inner-city bridge with her 5 fatherless children. It tells the harsh realities of living in extreme poverty and their daily struggles. The role of Hester is played by 4th-year Wits performance student Bathanswa Mbobo, while she is accompanied by 5 other cast members who double as adults in Hester's life: her ex-boyfriend, her social worker, her doctor, her best friend, and a reverend. Well, to tell us more about the play, we're joined in studio by director Greg Herman and the lead actress Bathanswa Mbobo. Welcome to Morning Love. So great to have you both.
Thank you.
Thank you, Paul.
Greg, this production tells a very sad story. I think of the circumstances and I find it harrowing. Why did you find it so important to tell a story such as Hester's?
It's an amazing play that's been around for about coming up to 20 years. It's written by an African-American playwright called Susan Parks, a remarkable American playwright. And the play is in some ways harrowing, and it does tell a really tragic story. But what I think Susan Parks is really fantastic at is she's able to bring humanity and humor and warmth to this world of the play, and through that she humanizes these characters that in many respects we, as those who are able to live above the poverty line, I think often turn our backs against. And I think that's really what the play is about. It's about putting a kind of human face to the struggles of people who live in these really appalling and difficult conditions.
And I can get that because it truly does reflect society, our South African society. We've got, I mean, you just have to drive out of this building to see how many people you'll meet along the road who are homeless, who are destitute, and often society turns their back on them and never hears the story.
Exactly. I mean, rehearsing this play, one of the challenges is that it's set under a bridge. And driving home after rehearsals and thinking about the set design, I was often looking at the spaces underneath our highways where so many people live and so many people make that their home. And that's exactly Hester's situation. And she's got these 5 young kids. The youngest is 2, the oldest is 13. She's actually a wonderful mother. I mean, she's doing her best. She doesn't have an education. She lives under the poverty line. But she's a wonderful mother and very caring, but the world is constantly pushing her down, and the adults in her world who are there to supposedly help her actually do the opposite. They make her life worse.
But Tanda, you play the lead role. You are Hester in this production. Yes. Tell us about how you found it challenging to sort of channel her life. I mean, one look at you, you're young, you're beautiful, you certainly don't live under a bridge. So to have to bring out certain emotion, how did you deal with that?
I will say, Hester really required from me an emotional investment, and a very big one. But direction from Greg really guided me quite a lot. He really brought my way that the play in itself carries a structure and carries an emotional journey. And then it's on me to just rely on that and then feel myself as this actor representing the character to then extend on that and make that larger and make that more emphasized and more enhanced. Hester has really required from me not to judge her as well. So in being someone who's a canvas of a character, you really need to find a way to be true to the character and not judge the character in any way. So I will say that there's certain choices that she's made, and there's certain things that she resorts to in order to get even just $1 to supply for her kids. And naturally, as Bathanswa representing this character, there's judgment. There's, oh my goodness, I cannot believe Hester would resort to that in order to support for her kids. But I found that I need to be able to justify the character, and I need to be able to stay true to the character and represent her, doing justice to her and not letting my own perceptions of the choices she's made get in the way.
That is quite incredible and speaks to the caliber of artist that you are and you will continue to become in the future. What are some of the lessons that you've learned from, you know, playing Hester?
Whew. The extent of poverty. So I will say, being in the midst of the performance, I think running through it, there were distinct moments where it really actually hit home how painful their situation is. There's moments like feeding the kids soup, and there's a point in the scene where they want to go for a third serving and she just can't serve it because the soup is finished. And then naturally she becomes a mom and she warms them with a story rather, and she fills them with a story.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is quite interesting. Very quickly, Greg, where can we get tickets and where can we see the play?
So the production is on at the Market Theatre the whole of next week, and you can get tickets at Web Tickets, and we play every night at 8:15 and on Sunday at 3:15. And I should also mention that because it's a Wits-related production from the Theatre and Performance Department, the Market Theatre have also agreed to a Wits alumni night on Wednesday night. So if anyone's watching and they went to Wits and they're interested in watching a production at the Market Theatre, they can also come to Wednesday night's performance at a special discounted rate. And
I can hear all the Witsies saying, hell yeah. Thank you so much both for coming.
Thank you,
It's a pleasure. That was Greg and Bathanswa talking to us about the theatre production in The Blood, which is currently showing at the Market Theatre here in Johannesburg. Make your tickets and buy your tickets rather and make a date to go see it. Time for a quick break. Stay with us.